started here in the next, oh, got 8:30 on the dot. So we're gonna go ahead and get this conversation started for the people that's on time, because we want to go ahead and be respectable for the people that's on time. And everybody else who's late, they just got to catch up at a later day to catch the next session. So my name is Javon Rowland, and I want to go ahead and bring forth this young lady who I have a tremendous amount of respect for, out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where Giannis and them reside at. Her name is Stephanie Stewart, man. She's in position to make a ton of money, and I'm just gonna put her business out there. She's making a ton of money in the real estate game, blazing trails or whatnot, and she's showing other people across the country how they can go ahead and do the same thing. So what she's about to do is she's about to come forward to you this evening and bring for you some knowledge that you can go ahead and implement and show you how to become a homeowner in this day of time. So I want to go ahead and bring forward my business partner, my partner in grind, Stephanie Stewart. Steph, you there? Go ahead and give me a clap if y'all could come off mute or whatnot. Don't disappoint me. Steph, you there?
I am here.
What's going on, Steph?
It's doing phenomenal. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. Like, let me tell you about this dude before he try and get off and jump on. Javon is one of the coolest dudes I ever know in the game. He has a heart full of gold. He really just goes how to go to help those other people, because his main passion is to make sure that we can all make a difference, and not only our lives, but the people around us, because who knows that when you going up, everybody else want to be in your pocket. Now we help everybody else get their pockets together, especially when it comes to buying a home and building these assets. Now we can all be in the playing field and don't nobody feel like they one up than the other. So we got to give it back up to Javon, because Javon is definitely the way maker in this, to really just go ahead and making everything move.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to share some information with you guys when it comes to the home buying process, and just how to go ahead and really put your foot in the door. Matter of fact, knock out the door, just so that you can go ahead and start building that portfolio if that's something you want to do, or even just go ahead and get started with it. So like Javon said, my name is Stephanie Stewart. I'm a realtor in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And one thing that I do is I help people go from paying rent to really building assets. What you're talking about, Steph. So your asset could be property, but that property could also be a liability depending on what it is that you're trying to do. Some people say that I have a dream home, and that dream home has marble countertops, has cabinet space, is spacious to entertain, and all of that is phenomenal, but we all got to start somewhere. Some people will see a house and, this can be their dream house, but I've seen some people make this their first house, which is fine. But I really want to show you guys how to actually get paid to go ahead and buy a house, and how you can get a house even if you're not ready per se. Some people want to get into flips, or they want to be those investors where they are taking a property that needs some work and they're putting that TLC into it and making it profitable. Rather, they want to buy and hold, so keep it as a rental, or they want to do what's called property flipping, which means you are renovating it over a course of 6 months and then going ahead to resell that house for a profit. So you see it a lot on HGTV, and they make it look all easy, but there are some things that we got to get to the bottom of. One is, how much is it going to cost you, and is it even worth it? How much may be 400, 500,000, but is that worth it when you look at your monthly budget to see what you can even afford? If you're looking at a $700 rental, that may not be a $300,000 house, unless you do the right things and you got the right numbers going on for you. So I need everybody to get out a piece of paper and pen, and let's talk about how to build this house from the ground up. From the ground up, I need you to first get the foundation, your basement, really go ahead and set it down in that ground so you can even build up on it. That foundation is your mindset, the education that you're getting in the industry, your game plan for what it is that you want to do, and then your team. Who is your lender? Who's your realtor? Who are the people who's either saying, yes, get a house, or, man, the market high and inflation high and the interest rates high, so maybe you should wait. Thing about real estate is there's always going to be a time to make money off of a property, whether it is gaining in equity, whether it is refinancing later to get lower interest rates. But the time isn't always going to be now to buy a house, because the longer you wait, as we've seen, prices go up over time. Inflation goes up over time. The Fed right now just said, yes, we'll put a hold on interest rates, but come 2024, those interest rates are going to go up. So some people got in when it was 3%, 4% interest rates, but now we're looking at 8%, 9%. We're about to go in double digits. So for that friend who said, wait, now you facing higher interest rates and higher prices versus getting in from the jump. But you wouldn't know that until you have somebody to really go ahead and tell you. So when it comes to the first floor, I need you to have a written budget. This plan is called the 30-30-30-10 plan. 30 goes to your housing expenses, 30 goes into savings and or your future, your savings for your emergency fund. The other 30 goes into your investment. So what is your rainy day? What is it that you want to have to save for later? Whether you are check to check or check behind the check, you have to learn how to save when you're broke, so you don't feel like, oh, when I get this money, I'm gonna be able to save. If you can't save a little bit, then you ain't gonna know how to save a lot. And this last 10% is going to be your charity. This counts as whatever organization, nonprofit you want to donate to, and or all them friends and everybody who say, hey, can I get $20? Can I get $30? Can I get whatever? It's okay to help out people, but put them on a budget within, so you're not giving away more than what you feel like you need to, because at the end of the day, you still got to build your own house. When it comes to buying a house, you're going to have prepayable fees. This may be your earnest money. Earnest money is going to be 1% of the purchase price. If you're buying an $100,000 house, this is $1,000. $300,000 house, $3,000. Now, this money doesn't just disappear. It goes into a trust fund, and then that trust fund holds it until we go ahead and get to closing, and it comes off of your total cash to close. You have the choice to get an inspection. Unless you want to climb on your roof, inspect your foundation, put a little, check all your electrical, know the difference between a good furnace and a bad furnace, a good water heater and a bad water heater, I highly recommend you go ahead and invest those $300 to $500 for an inspection, because there's nothing like buying a house, saying, yay, I got the house, and then your roof caved in. Or all of a sudden the electricity got flames coming out of it because you got open ground outlets or double taps. You ever try and plug in something and all of a sudden your fuse blow? Those are called double taps. Those are called ungrounded outlets. That's a safety concern. But some people deal with it so much that they don't even really notice that it's an issue. In addition to your inspection and your earnest money, you then have what's called your appraisal. An appraisal is going to be a third party that comes in to say what this house is actually worth. If you bid $180,000 on a house and that appraisal comes back to say, I think this house is only worth $160, all you do is you team up with your realtor, you write an amendment and say, hey, I need you to deduct that price because I'm not paying more than what it's worth. A lot of people get duped because they don't want to do those appraisals. They don't want to check the market comps to see if they're spending enough, spending their money right. Now, the positive to this, say that same house you said was, you bid 180. Say that appraisal comes back at 200,000. Who on the line knows what just happened? You on mute? What happened? I bid 180. The appraisal came back and said it's 200. What that mean?
Negatives.
It means what, Javon?
You in the negatives?
Nope. It means you're in the positives. If I only bid 180 and the appraiser came and said this house is worth 200,000, I just came up $20,000. You want equity in your property, because when it comes to when you want to renovate, when you need things done in the house, you can pull that equity out. Maybe you want to go ahead and buy another property. You can take that money out and put it towards a different property. And now you got two properties all from the one you had. This is why houses can be assets if you play the game right. Now, at the end, you're still going to have closing costs. You're still going to have title fees. You're still going to have everything else, but that's due at the end when they tell you your closing statement. The main thing before you get a house, I'm not saying you can't have student loans, you can't have debt, whatever else, but make sure that whatever you can put towards your debt, you do that. Because when lenders are looking at you, they're looking at what's your debt to income ratio? How much money do you owe other people? How likely are you to pay this back? If them numbers is high, this means your interest rate is high. So this is the difference between having that 3%, 2% interest rate and that 5 to 8% interest rate. It sounds like single numbers, but trust me, these is hundreds of thousands of dollars just because you didn't take care of some things coming up, straight out the bat. It's nice to have a mini entry emergency fund. Say you get that house and all of a sudden your water heater starts leaking and it's before the 30 days before you can file a home warranty claim. You got to have some kind of money for the just in case. Say you want to move into the house. You got to have money for the U-Haul, right? You got to have money for your furniture and stuff, right? So you can't just go in to say, oh, my friend bought a house with no money down and I don't need no money to buy a house. That's not how it works. I'm going to just bust your bubble right quick. It's not how it works. So when it comes to buying a house, if you are a veteran, it is 0% down. Thank you for your services. That's kind of what the government allows to happen. If you are not a veteran, you are looking anywhere between 3 to 20%. 3% means you may be a first-time home buyer, means you may be, have good numbers. Things are kind of in motion. 20% either means one of two things. One, your numbers are horrible. You got bad credit, got high debt, or it means this is your second property, your third property, your fourth property. So when you go into building that portfolio, remember that 20,000 equity I just told you about when it comes out appraisal? That's where you're pulling that 20% out of. Because the main thing we want to do is we want to build wealth, we want to live, and we want to have that difference between survival and living. I'm a realtor in Wisconsin. I've seen some people live in houses with nothing in it. No stove, no refrigerator, no furniture, no nothing. Pallet on the floor. Now keep in mind, we all start somewhere. I'm not knocking it. But is that how you want to live though? Or is that just surviving? So the main thing is just going ahead and go from that surviving to living, because I don't know nobody who voluntarily wants to sleep on the floor. Do you know anybody who voluntarily wants to not have food and stuff in their house? Most people, they strive to get those things. So let's talk about what makes the difference. To get the best rates, they're going to need a credit score, a debt to income ratio below 40%, your down payment, and then your current income. Do not come to closing with a bag full of money and think that's going to buy you a house. Not going to work. Don't think that just because you started a job, recently that means you can't have a job. Or you can't buy a house. Sometimes people switch jobs. That's okay. Sometimes people switch to different states. That's okay. Sometimes people have bankruptcy and other things that they feel is going to stop them from getting a home, but that's never the case. You just have to be sure that your numbers line up and your team makes, helps you make it do what it do. So what's your credit score? Your credit score, the highest you can get is an 850. The lowest you can get is probably in the 300s, but we're going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and say you at least at a 520. At this 520, I'm not saying you can't get approved, because there are programs that do allow you to get a house regardless of your credit. However, you're going to have higher interest rates. You're going to be paying more for this house until you can get out of the rut of having poor to bad credit. If you can get into this 620, just this below average, the 620 to 675, 679, now you can qualify for grants. So before, if you didn't hear, we were talking about grant stacking. Grant stacking is the ability to use other people's money to go ahead and stack those up. So now you get paid to buy a house. What? You mean to tell me I can have below average credit and still get paid to buy a house? Yes. As long as you have at least that 620. In my area, we have things called Axe Housing. We have WIDA. We have different counties. So when you are looking into your city and state, pull up that city that you want to buy a home in. See what that city offers, that municipality offers. See if the state offers anything. Your job, sometimes we have a landlord here who's a big time, investor. He gives his tenants $5,000 towards buying a house. So there's always money out there, but you have to just know where to look. And most people are not going to tell you this information because they'd rather you spend your hard-earned money to get to whatever you need versus utilizing all the free resources out there. Because guess what happens when all those grants are there and nobody goes for the grant money? It comes right back to them. And we want to be able to utilize that money so that it doesn't go into their pockets. We use it for the people who need it. If you are above a 720, your interest rates are looking really, really good. That 740, you're looking at low interest rates, so 2%, 3%. And I got somebody on the line that I want to definitely go ahead and have her really talk about how these low interest rates have really gone ahead and made a difference. But before I go into that, let's talk about what your credit score actually is and what it's compromised of. The best way to fix your credit is to pay them people their money. Plain and simple. If you can pay the people that you borrow from back, it adds to your credibility. Then how much is the capacity? If you have a $500 credit limit, did you spend $499.92? Or were you able to say, hey, I put the money right back. I kept it under 30%. How much debt do you have? Do you have student loans, difference between installment versus a revolving debt? What has really made it up? So don't just think your score is the bottom all, but this is just a screenshot of what it actually is. Now I'm gonna bring up Miss Anita right quick. Miss Anita, you got a quick second? Miss Anita is one of our wonderful people who was able to go ahead and get her credit together and tell our group what them interest rates do for you.
Hey, thank you so much, Stephanie. You are doing an amazing job. You and Javon together, man, y'all are the team. But what the experts were able to do for me, and I used to be embarrassed to share my credit score when I started this journey, it was 503, literally. And so what the experts was able to do for me at that time, they were able to, in less than 6 months, get my score up 209 points. My husband's score went up 159 points because he's blessed by association just because of me, right? He gets to get the services free. I was then able to sell my home and buy a new home, my forever dream home, at a 2.5 interest rates. I know that's unheard of now. Somebody I was talking to the other day, they said they interest rate 7%. My stomach started hurting. But because of the experts, I would have been paying that or more had I kept that 503 credit score. So it was amazing. The process was effortless because we got a team of experts that did everything for me. All I did was provide them with my credit reports and they went to work for me. And so thank you for allowing me to share. I'm excited.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that. So yes, you heard her. She had those 2% interest rates, 2.5% interest rates, which apparently, with the out market right now, we at 8. So just imagine if you can go ahead and get your pre-approval and you are locked in at a lower rate just because your numbers are right. Now I'm gonna rebring Javon back up because Javon is one of the, man, he's a GOAT. He's one of the people that I was able to actually partner with and say, hey, I got a lot of clients that, may not have good credit scores, may not have, the things kind of going on right for them. So he was able to actually show me an organization, a membership that was able to go ahead and help them. So Javon, would you be able to tell us about the membership and what it was really, or who you guys are and what we're able to accomplish by having this membership?
Awesome. And first and foremost, Steph, you're doing a great job breaking down this information down to the science, just so people can understand it. I'm even learning something, and I know some of this stuff, but I'm learning some more, and it's always good to learn extra stuff. But what we did, guys, was we partnered with the company called Make Wealth Real Financial. And what they do is they have a wealth membership that's going to have you get yourself and your finances in order in all aspects. So Like if you have bad credit, we're going to help you fix and restore your credit so you can go ahead and get in that home as well. And if you don't have the down payment, I'm about to go through and elaborate on how the wealth membership can go ahead and help you get that down payment so you can go ahead and get in the home. So Steph, you want to go ahead and share the screen for me right quick, please?
Yes, there we go. Sometimes my technology be like, there you go. Can you see my screen?
Yep, I see it. Got
Cool.
you. So guys, what we did was we partnered with Make Wealth Real Financial, and what they do, they have a wealth membership on hand. And I'm about to bring Anita back because she has so much success after I elaborate on what the membership can do for you. So let's go ahead and once you get your membership started, you now get access to certified financial planners that's going to help you become financial fit in every aspect. They're going to help you show you how to go ahead and create extra cash flow, get out of debt in record time, also increase your credit score, and also create investment income as well. And also our keys, the home ownership program, that's a part of the membership as well, which Steph will elaborate on later on during this webinar. So let's start with the reduce my taxes. Once you get your membership started, you now have access to certified financial planners, CPAs, and enrolled IRS agents that's going to help you become tax efficient. And one of the ways they're going to help you do that is by helping you properly adjust your W-4 form. Now, you might not be familiar with your W-4 form. You may be more familiar with your W-2 because that's the form you take when you go ahead and file your taxes. But your W-4 form is the form you fill out once you first start working at your employer. And IRS.gov states that over 80% of Americans who work a job have this form filled out incorrectly. So once you get your membership started, our experts are going to help you fill out that form correctly. And what you're going to see is an instant pay raise on your paycheck from your job. And then another way we can help you get the money for your down payment into the home as well is by helping you lower your bills as well. And this is where you get access to certified bill negotiators that's going to go in on your behalf to lower your bills for you. Your bills that you cannot pay off, like your cell phone bill, your internet bill, your cable bill, these things that you cannot pay off, our certified bill negotiators are going to go in on your behalf to get them lowered. And I'll be very transparent because I went through the process as well. They helped me save $20 every month on my AT&T bill. So if you do the math, that's $240 that they helped me save on my AT&T bill for the year. So that's more cash flow coming in back into the household. Now, another way we're going to help you get the down payment for your home is by helping you eliminate your debt. And this is where you get access to our certified financial experts that's going to help you come up with a game plan to have you debt-free in record time. We also call it debt snowballing. So if you have a 30-year mortgage, what our financial experts are going to show you how to come up with a game plan to get it down to 10 years, because the new free is debt-free, not owing anybody anything and not having to duck Peter and Paul and figure out who you have to pay first. And then another thing that comes with the membership as well as a bonus is our Restore My Credit. And this is one of the most consistent ways you can minimize your expenses. And the reason why I say that is because when your credit score goes up, that means your interest rate goes down. So that means you're not paying for things 2 or 3 times pertaining to someone who has bad credit. So once you get your membership started, all you have to do is upload your 3 credit reports to our credit experts who have 30 years of experience in the game, and just walk away. And that's what I did. I'll be very transparent. When I first joined the company, my credit score was in the low 300s. But since I joined the company, they helped increase my credit score 453 points. So they currently got me sitting at a 770 right now. And all I had to do was upload my 3 credit reports, and I simply walked away. And then also, we have some other things that come along with the membership, but I just wanted to elaborate on the reduce my taxes, the lower your bills, the eliminate my debt, and restore your credit, because once you go ahead and take care of these things, your cash flow automatically goes up.
Yeah.
So that puts you in position to get that down payment for the home. And then we're working on your credit as well. And that also gets you in a better position as to pertaining to what Steph said earlier with the interest rates. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and give it back up to Steph and let her take it from here so she can elaborate on the keys to home ownership program that comes with the membership.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, Javon. And them is some amazing stories. Like, you mean to tell me you went from 3 to 7? You know how people feel like they can't get a house because they don't have the resources, but being able to.
Absolutely. And we gotta bring Anita back up, because Anita had so much success using the membership, and I want to go ahead and let her elaborate on what the membership was able to do for her as a whole, because she elaborated on what it did for her with her getting a home or whatnot, and her credit score increased. But I want her to elaborate on the debt elimination and creating cash flow as well.
Okay, Miss Anita. So I got a question for you. When you partner with MWR, did it help reduce your taxes, lower your bills, eliminate your debt, and build your credit so you can get that dream house?
Yes, ma'am. It did all of that, all of the things. The experts were able to put back $709 a month back on my paycheck. I was then given a plan with my debt-free plan, because you get a debt elimination system, to take that $709 and snowball my debt. From March 2020 to now, I paid off over $30,000 of debt, including paying off a car a year and a half early. It has shaved out. My home has a 30-year mortgage, but if I keep following that plan, I would be done paying for my house in 12 years, guys. 12. Can you imagine how much interest I'm gonna save for that? They negotiated my cable bill. I saved $150 a month. I was paying crazy cable bill because my husband wanted every station, all of the stations, right? Then they saved me. I'm on a family plan with my cell phone. They saved me $110 a month on my cell phone. I was like, people really negotiate stuff like that? Yes. And then because I partner with them, I have a business. I went from owing the IRS to now not owing them and getting a refund. And not only that, I just shared it. Javon, Stephanie, I see Hollywood, I see Richard. I only shared it with a few people, and they got excited, and they saw what it was doing for me, and they started partnering with me. And I went from $5, I thought I hit the lottery, $5 a day, $150 a month. And I went from there to $20 a month, and now $50, $20 a day, and now $50 a day. Guys, if you study long, you definitely gonna study wrong, because having one stream of income, I found out that it was hazardous to my wealth. Why? Because and let me just share this. In February, I had a simple knee replacement surgery, and it's September, about to be October, and guess what? I'm still off work. No paycheck, no time, Aflac gone. I am literally living off of the money that I make from my residual income of MWR. See, life be happening, right? Life be lifing. And if you live, it's going to happen to you. But please, ma'am, please, sir, one stream of income is definitely hazard to your wealth. Thank y'all for letting me share. I am so excited about this, y'all. Like, I just started today. That's how excited I am. And thank you, Javon and Stephanie. Y'all doing an amazing job.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Miss Anita. So now let me go ahead and tell you about something. We heard how Miss Anita was able to go ahead and get her numbers right and get those low interest rates, right? Right. Now, what about the people who want a house today, but may not have those numbers, may not be able to get those things? I want to tell you right now, like I said from the beginning, today is always the best day to buy a house. And let me tell you why. So Make Wealth Real Financial has been so much of a phenomenal program that I have to definitely recommend it to other people, because they not only help you get all your stuff together, they not only do all of this. If you got some legal issues, they got that. You want to actually talk about your debt, they got that. Them student loans that you feel like is holding you back, that you probably ain't even working a job in that field, they got something for that too. But what I love about it is this path to home ownership. Everybody can get on a road to buying a house, regardless of your credit, regardless of where you are. But the main difference that I love between Make Wealth Real Financial and some of these other lenders, some of these other lenders will tell you how to raise your credit quick. And you know what thing about that quick credit jumps is that they will quickly get you in the house and you will quickly have bad credit all over again. But they do it because they get paid for you to buy a house. So now here's the thing about me. Yes, I sell houses for a living, but I'd rather you get into that house, be happy about that house, like those payments, like the situation you're in, versus putting yourself in a junky situation just because you needed something right now. So the Keys to Home Ownership does have a rent to own program. They do have different levels to where you are in your home ownership. Some people have bad credit, but they got money. Some people ain't got no money and ain't got no credit. Some people know how to work on houses, and we have a sweat equity program. Well, now you can work on houses to build the money for your down payment. So what I'm basically saying is that there is nothing that can stop you from getting a house as long as you connect with the right people and they go ahead and give you those resources. In addition to Miss Anita, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other people that we've been able to help. Charles and Judith Ivory. Charles lost his job during COVID. No money, no nothing. But now that house that's behind them, they have built it over 6,000 square feet. This is now their dream home they built from the ground up. They're 100% debt free. They paid their land in cash just from the compensation plan attached to this membership with Make Wealth Real. In addition to them, let's talk about Gerald Parker. Gerald Parker was homeless, living in his car, just going through life, going through a situation. But he not only bought one house, he bought two houses. He can go to different states and live in different houses, having completely eliminated so much of his debt, reducing his taxes, going ahead and making $10,000 a day. How many people do you know make less than, let's say, $10,000 a day times 30 days? I'm sure there's some people who make that in a year, but he was able to go ahead and make this in a month. And this is residual. This is just him waking up to say, whew, I just got $10,000. Good job. And that's that cushion that some people need. Like Miss Anita was saying that she, life was lifing and, she's in a situation. Think about how much better it could be having $10,000 a day, having even $5,000 a day. Even say this was just $10,000 a month. If you did it and only got a fraction of it right, how much would you be able to say, hey, I have this relief off of me because I now have some extra income? And let's not forget about Brian Bean. So see this land right here? Bean Acres is about 20 acres of land that I saw him get and really cultivate and really make money. You do not have to have multiple doors, these big portfolios or whatever. Brian Bean was able to buy some land and now he makes money off that land. He has Georgia Lottery. He had Tyler Perry. He had Housewives of Atlanta. All these different production companies are coming in just to use his land and he gets paid off of that. Now imagine you buying an asset and you ain't even got to do nothing. You just own the property. And then he was able to go ahead and use those proceeds to really stack his assets. So now he was able to buy a property in Dubai. It's some people who dream of just visiting Dubai and realize how expensive it is, but imagine having property there. And not only property, but property in prime locations so that he can rent that condo out and he's still making money. Now he got income in different currencies. If you have the ability to get money in different currencies, would you do it?
Absolutely.
So we talked a lot about making money, having assets, and really going ahead. So I got some people on the line who they already are wealthy. They already got money in the bank. They can buy their property cash, which is phenomenal. Kudos to you. But have you ever heard of a diversified cash flow where you become your own bank and now you can use your money twice? If you go to the store and you swipe your card and you buy something, that money's just gone. You got that service and it's gone. But what about being able to swipe that card, use that money, still gain compound interest, which is the eighth wonder of the world? Those who know it, who learn it, they get paid from it. Those who do not know it, pay it. And you don't want to keep paying it. You want to be on the other side of compound interest. Maybe some people have 401ks or different jobs they have that their money is just not growing. Those retirement accounts, they're noticing that because it's based off the stock market, it's going to go up and down, especially during COVID. There's a lot of things that completely tanked, businesses that went out. But if we put that into a private reserve where it only goes up and never goes down, now you have no risk of loss and you don't have to pay extra taxes on it because the money is growing. Say you want to become an investor, but you don't want to deal with toilets, tenants, stress from people messing up your stuff, special assessments, or nothing like that. How about you buy land in the path of growth? Some people say, okay, I'm gonna buy land, but they don't really know what kind of land they want. Our experts have already been able to find, quality land that's growing in the path of growth. So now you're getting double-digit returns on your land, and you ain't got to cut the grass. You ain't even got to go there. All you have to do is be able to say, hey, I now own this asset, and then you hold on to it. If you want to build your dream house on it, great. If you want to now sell that, later, now you're buying something wholesale and being able to sell it retail, which is what all these companies are doing. But for the most part, we're on the other side of the retail side and not on the wholesale side. So now, Steph, I got my land, I got some extra money, I got some properties. Okay, cool. I'm all successful, right? What about having a trust to protect it all? When it comes to Donald Trump, he filed bankruptcy several times and still had money. The Hiltons didn't even do nothing. I'm not guarantee you not one Hilton has ever worked in a Hilton hotel, but because they had a trust in place, their legacies were taken care of, their assets were protected. So all we do is we say, hey, we have access to this privileged information, this private information. If you go ahead and join us, we'll go ahead and we'll give you that same stuff so that you can now live like the wealthy people do. And it's not a class thing, a race thing, or anything like that. What it really comes down to is an education thing. Either you know about it or you don't. So I know we touched on, Miss Anita was talking about, how much money she's made from it. We had some slides, we talked about how much money people have made from it. You can become either just a member to utilize those services, or you can be what's called a wealth promoter. The wealth promoter is a home-based business. Yes, you are now a 1099 worker. You can utilize those different tax breaks, and now you're bringing money in before you even do anything. Now, if you start having some of them friends, like I told you about that 10%, the friends that ask you for $20, $50, $100, you can now say, hey, I can teach you how to go ahead and get your own $20,000, $30,000 or whatever else, but just go ahead and do it. Now, here's the thing about a promoter. We do it anyway. When it comes to promotion, we got a TikTok, we got an Instagram, we got a Facebook, we got a MySpace. Now, think about how much money the founder of MySpace has made. And all he did was promote it. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, these are all platforms that are promotion platforms that all they did was get paid by being able to say, hey, I have this thing available. So there's two ways to go ahead and get started. Either you have the membership or you're going to be a promoter. The promoter just means you want to make some extra money as a 1099 worker. This means that you want to have a better relationship with money. You want to go from earning a living, so working that check to check, having multiple jobs, going to school full time and whatever else, having that linear income, to saying, you know what, I just want to be able to have a 4-day vacation without worrying about or without tripping about when I got to come back and what I got to do. The founder of Walmart does not work in Walmart. The founder of a lot of these other companies do not actually have these things because they were able to have leverage income, be a part of that 5% and be financially independent. They have created a lifestyle for you. Your choice and your relationship with money is always based off you. But if you had the choice to be check to check or create the lifestyle that you want to live, regardless of what that may be, how many people will say goodbye to linear income and hello to being financially independent? Make Wealth Real Financial does have a first 30 days money back guarantee. If you are able to go ahead and use these services and we cannot reduce your taxes, lower your bills, eliminate your debt, restore your credit, and help you with your investment portfolios, we will give you your money back. So now I guess the question is, how much does it cost, right? Well, when it comes down to cost, like I said, there's two different things. $149 is going to be the base per month. No matter what, you're going to have all the services that we talked about. For a one-time $100, you can go ahead and get your 1099 certified. Just like how you were to go get Avon, get whatever else to go start your business, this is the same thing. You have to put something in to start your business to make you 1099 certified. By having that 1099 certification, that's a one-time fee of $229.97, and then we'll go ahead and still have access to all the services that you had. Now, that is pretty much all it is. When it comes down to buying a house, you either are ready to go right now, or you need some help to get there. What Make Wealth Real Financial and hopefully your local realtor is able to do is they're able to partner you up with the right resources, tools, and resources to really go ahead and make that dream a reality. Make sense? Cool. Okay, I'm going to leave it up for any questions within the next 2 minutes. If you have a question, either raise your hand, come off mute, leave it in the chat, whatever you choose to do. Going once, going twice, 3 times. Okay, cool. All right, reach out to the person that went ahead and introduce you to this conversation. Make sure your realtor knows about the different programs that are out there and really team up with the right team to help you get your portfolio started. And we will see you next time.